In the world of computing, there are always shifts happening beneath the surface, trends that go unnoticed by the majority of users, but have the potential to change everything. One of these under-the-radar movements is the quiet revolution that has been taking place in the operating system OS world. For decades, Microsoft Windows and Apple macOS have dominated the desktop and laptop markets, with Linux remaining a niche choice for enthusiasts and developers. However, a seismic shift has been happening over the last few years. More and more people are discovering the power, flexibility, and security of Linux, and millions are now making the switch in 2026. The question is, why? Why are so many users, both individuals and businesses, turning their backs on Windows and macOS in favor of Linux? What is it about this open-source operating system that is capturing the attention of a growing number of users worldwide? In this video, we're going to explore the reasons behind the rise of Linux, how it's making waves in 2026, and why this quiet revolution is transforming the landscape of personal and professional computing. To understand why Linux is on the rise, we need to first take a look at its history. Linux has been around since 1991, when a Finnish student named Linus Torvalds created it as a free, open-source alternative to proprietary operating systems. While Linux started off as a project for tech enthusiasts and developers, it quickly gained traction in the tech community. Over the years, Linux has evolved into a highly reliable, secure, and customizable operating system, powering everything from smartphones and web servers to supercomputers and cloud infrastructure. However, despite its growth in certain areas, Linux has traditionally struggled to gain mainstream adoption on personal computers. The reasons for this are varied, but they can mostly be attributed to factors like a steep learning curve for new users, limited software compatibility, and the dominance of Windows and macOS in the consumer market. That said, over the last decade, Linux has been slowly but steadily chipping away at the market share of other operating systems, and by 2026, the number of Linux users has exploded. One of the most significant factors driving the rise of Linux is the increasing dissatisfaction with Windows and macOS. For many years, Windows was the dominant OS on the market, but over time, users began to experience frustration with its performance, security vulnerabilities, and privacy concerns. Windows updates, in particular, have become a source of frustration for many users, with forced updates and system slowdowns often causing major disruptions. In 2026, many users have had enough and they're looking for an alternative. This is where Linux comes in. Unlike Windows, Linux is known for being highly customizable, efficient, and user-friendly for those who know how to use it. Linux's open-source nature allows users to modify and tweak the operating system to suit their specific needs. With the rise of user-friendly distributions like Ubuntu, Linux has become more accessible to everyday users who are tired of the limitations imposed by proprietary operating systems. In fact, Linux is now more user-friendly than ever, with simple installation processes, graphical interfaces, and support for most major hardware. But it's not just the ease of use that is attracting millions of users to Linux. One of the most compelling reasons people are making the switch is the level of control and customization that Linux provides. Unlike Windows or macOS, Linux is highly flexible, allowing users to tweak every aspect of the operating system. Users can choose from a wide variety of Linux distributions, each tailored for different use cases. Whether you're looking for a lightweight system that runs on older hardware or a high-performance distribution for gaming or development, Linux has a solution for you. Moreover, Linux's open-source nature means that users are not beholden to a single company's vision. With Windows and macOS, users are limited to the updates, features, and changes that the companies behind these OSes choose to implement. In contrast, Linux users have the freedom to choose what they want to use, and if they don't like something, they can modify it themselves or even contribute to the development of the OS. This sense of ownership and control is something that appeals to millions of tech-savvy users in 2026. Another major factor contributing to the rise of Linux is the increasing importance of security and privacy. In today's world, where data breaches and cyber attacks are all too common, users are more concerned than ever about the security of their personal data. Linux, by design, is considered more secure than Windows or macOS due to its open-source nature and strong community-driven development. Linux users have the ability to review the source code and make sure that there are no backdoors or malicious code embedded in the OS. Additionally, Linux's architecture is built with security in mind, with features like app sandboxing, secure boot, and advanced file permissions. As privacy concerns continue to rise, more users are flocking to Linux because it offers a level of transparency and security that is hard to match. For example, while Windows and Mac OS are known to collect user data for targeted advertising and other purposes, Linux allows users to control their data and limit what information is shared for privacy-conscious individuals and organizations. Linux is an attractive alternative to proprietary operating systems that prioritize corporate interests over user privacy. The rise of Linux is also closely tied to the increasing popularity of cloud computing and the Internet of Things (IoT), as businesses and individuals rely more heavily on cloud-based services. The demand for robust, scalable, and secure operating systems has grown. Linux has long been the operating system of choice for web servers, data centers, and cloud infrastructure due to its stability, scalability, and security. In 2026, Linux continues to dominate the cloud space, with most of the world's major cloud providers using Linux-based systems to power their services. The widespread adoption of Linux in the cloud has also had a trickle-down effect on consumer users. As more people become familiar with Linux-powered cloud services, they begin to realize that the same technology can be used on their personal computers. Linux's ability to seamlessly integrate with cloud services has made it an attractive choice for users who want to take advantage of the cloud without relying on proprietary operating systems. Another driving force behind the shift to Linux is the growing popularity of open-source software. In recent years, there has been a major push toward open-source software, with more and more users rejecting proprietary software in favor of free, community-driven alternatives. Linux is at the heart of this movement, and its open-source nature has made it the go-to choice for people who value transparency, collaboration, and community-driven development. With the rise of open-source software, Linux has become the natural choice for developers, engineers, and tech enthusiasts who want to build on a platform that is open, flexible, and community-supported. The Linux development community is one of the most vibrant and active in the world, with thousands of contributors working on improving the OS, developing new tools, and creating software that runs on Linux. This sense of community and collaboration is one of the key reasons why Linux has gained so much traction in 2026. Finally, the rise of Linux in 2026 can be attributed to the growing support from major hardware manufacturers. In the past, Linux struggled with hardware compatibility issues, as many manufacturers only offered drivers and support for Windows and macOS. However, in recent years, this has changed. More and more hardware manufacturers, including companies like Dell, Lenovo, and System76, are now offering Linux-compatible laptops and desktops, making it easier than ever for users to switch to Linux without worrying about hardware compatibility. This has made Linux a viable option for a much larger audience, from everyday users to businesses looking for reliable and secure systems. As more people switch to Linux in 2026, it's clear that this quiet revolution is not a passing trend. Linux is poised to become a dominant force in the world of personal computing, with millions of users embracing its security, flexibility, and control. Whether you're a developer, privacy-conscious user, or just someone looking for a better alternative to Windows or macOS, Linux offers a solution that meets your needs. The future of computing is open, and Linux is leading the charge. As we move further into 2026, expect to see even more people making the switch to Linux. And as the operating system continues to evolve, it will likely become an even more powerful and accessible tool for millions of users around the world. The quiet OS revolution is here, and it's only just beginning.